Very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the current affairs classes. I hope you all are doing well. And today we are going to cover 10th of January, okay, in the CA. So 10th of January CA, first section, ESI Finance and Business News. First news itself is very important, okay, which says supply chain finance platform CrackGradeB has received final approval from RBI to commercially launch its trade receivables discounting system platform, TRADES platform. Okay, so CrackGradeB has received this approval from RBI to launch TRADES platform. Now you need to understand what is TRADES, and then you will be able to understand the importance of this news. And remember, it will be launched with the brand name of DTX, Domestic Trade Exchange. Now, to understand TRADES, you need to understand the mechanism, right? TRADES basically is a platform created for MSMEs, the micro, small and medium enterprises. What happens is, let me explain you TRADES first. See, there is an MSME or there is some MSME. MSME, you all know what is MSME, right? Micro, small and medium enterprises. Now, these MSMEs are sellers in the market. So, these are sellers. Sellers, that means they are selling something. Now, they are selling something to big corporations, to say government departments. So, they are selling something and in return of it, they are getting an invoice generated against it. For example, if they have sold out some amount of goods and services, whatever it is, to some department, some large corporation, उसके against में अभी उनको payment नहीं मिला है. A bill has been generated. That payment is yet to be, settled in say fewer days. तो तब तक के time के लिए, if you need liquidity, if you need some funds, where will you get it from? This is the question, right? So MSMEs are the sellers and they have this invoice generated, right? Who is the buyer? Buyer can be any corporation, any government department, any corporation, government department, etc. Right? Now what happens is, suppose this invoice has been generated against a sale of certain goods. The payment is yet to arrive in say few days, but in between the MSME requires funds. So what it can do is, it can onboard on this TRADES platform, it can register itself on the TRADES platform where the MSME as a seller is registered, where the buyers are registered who are purchasing something from the MSMEs, right? And where banks and financial institutions are also registered. So all these three entities will be registered here. Banks and NBFCs, right? Now banks and NBFCs will do what? So this MSME goes to a bank, for example. ये बैंक के पास जाती है. It says कि this is the invoice, this is the bill which I have generated against the sale of this amount to one of the government departments. अभी उसका पैसा आया नहीं है. You discount this bill. Bill discounting क्या होती है? Bill discounting is, suppose I have a bill of 1,000 rupees, है ना, उसका payment आना है. I am giving you that bill, I am giving it to you as MSME to the bank and I am asking for the amount and I am saying you discount it, say 100 rupees उसमें से आप रख लो, so that would be your interest, right? And then you give me the rest amount, say 900 rupees. And when the payment comes, I will be settling this up with you. So this is how discounting is done. So this is TRADES platform where the MSMEs, against their bills generated for some pending payments, they can get liquidity. The purpose is what? To ensure that MSMEs have working capital. They do not shortfall of the working capital. I hope this entire TRADES platform concept is clear, everyone. Tell me yes or no. Anyone? Will you please tell me? You have understood this, right? This is what trade receivables and discounting system is. TRADES platform. Since now I have explained you the concept, you will be able to understand the news. So this is CredX. Now CredX will be launching its own trades platform. It will be fifth in the series to do that, RB regulated. अपना खुद का ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म लॉन्च करेगा फॉर MSMEs, राइट? एंड द नेम वुड बी DTX, Domestic Trade Exchange. And with this approval, remember this fact that CredX has become fifth RBI regulated trades platform in India. This is very, very important. With this, CredX becomes fifth RBI regulated trades platform in India, right? Fifth RBI regulated trades platform. So then, which are the other four? Other four trades platform which are RBI regulated in India are Receivables Exchange of India Limited, which is RXIL. Remember, RXIL is a joint venture between SBI and NSE. These are very important. You have this news is very significant, right? So RXIL, remember, is a joint venture between SBI and NSE. Then you have M1 Exchange. Then you have Invoice Smart, and then you have C2FO Factoring Solutions. C2FO Factoring Solutions. These are the four, and CredX is now the fifth one. RBI regulated trades platform, and trades stands for Trade Receivables Discounting System. ट्रेड जो आपने किया, वॉट एवर यू हैव सोल्ड एज MSME, उसका जो भी रिसीवेबल है, जो भी पैसा आना है, अभी आया नहीं है पैसा, सो you have that invoice generated, you go to the institute, say bank or NBFCs, and you ask them to discount it. 1000 रुपए का है, आपको 1000 रुपए चाहिए, वो 100 अपना रख लेंगे, this is discounting, and then we'll give you 900, right? I think this is clear. And remember the static portion, that these trades platforms, they are regulated by RBI according to which act? This can be another important question. So trades platform are regulated by RBI under your Payment and Settlement System Act 2007. Okay, so PSA 2007, Payment and Settlement Act, Systems Act 2007. This is very important. Now next news, India has joined the UN Committee of Experts on Big Data and Data Science for Official Statistics. India has joined this committee. So that's why this is important. Now what is this committee? This committee, UN committee, United Nations committee, is a committee of experts who are working, to leverage on big data and data science for official statistics. That shows how you can use big data. What is big data? Big data is basically the expanding scope of data nowadays. You have financial data, you have automobile data, right? You have internet data, anything. So new dimensions of data are being unfolded nowadays. Fintech ka data itna sara hai, right? A lot of this. So this is the big data, AI related and all. How you can leverage this in your official statistics, so that you are better able to integrate it in the official purpose, for the official purposes or statistics. This is the thing, right? So India has also joined this group. And with this participation, India will be participating in the global decisions related to big data and statistical standards. So India will have a say in the statistical procedures, formulas, standards, right? Based on big data. Sorry. Then you have IBBI, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. It has mandated the use of e-Bikre auction platform to sell assets under liquidation process. Now, if you remember e-Bikre, we have covered e-Bikre earlier. Remember one very important thing, e-Bikre is now banknet. Remember this thing first of all. e-Bikre is now banknet officially. Okay, so remember this thing, e-Bikre is now banknet. It is no longer e-Bikre, it is banknet. So basically IBBI, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, has mandated it that regarding any liquidation process, you need to sell assets under, or you need to use e-Bikre platform to auction such assets. Now what is IBBI? Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code है इंडिया का, right? 2016. We have Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code to deal with such cases. So in the insolvency and bankruptcy code, we have this entire structure which has insolvency and bankruptcy professionals who will be dealing with the cases. So you have one board established under it. What is insolvency and bankruptcy? I hope you understand. Insolvency is when you don't have liquidity to meet your day-to-day operations. जब आपके पास आपकी working capital के लिए ही liquidity नहीं है, you are insolvent for a quite long period of time, right? And when that is officially declared for a very significant period of time, you are bankrupt. So to deal with such cases and to liquidate such companies and assets which are under insolvency and bankruptcy, IBC code was 2016 was introduced. Right? Under this, you have a proper structure of how to deal with the cases. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India allocates such cases respectively. Like individual cases, they are dealt by the DRT, Debt Restructuring Tribunal. Company related cases, company related insolvency bankruptcy cases, they are resolved by the NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal, and you can go against their judgment in the appellate tribunal, which is NCLAT, National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. So this is the entire structure. IBBI is saying that in any such liquidation process where you are trying to liquidate the non-performing company which is insolvent, you want to sell the assets, to liquidate it, to convert it into cash, you want to auction it, right? For that, you have to mandatorily use eBikre platform. And remember, I told you that eBikre now is BankNet. So you effectively have to use BankNet platform, right? BankNet we have covered recently. Public sector companies के लिए, banks के लिए platform है where they can sell, auction their properties, etc. Right? So eBikre का purpose भी BankNet will be solving. This is the entire news and it will be effective from 1st April. Since IBBI is in news, so remember IBBI is headquartered at New Delhi. And eBikre, I have told you, it was launched in 2019. Property listing and e-auction platform where you can list all these properties and auction them online. And remember, in January 2025 only, government has rebranded eBikre as BankNet, Bank Asset Auction Network. This is very, very important. Write it down separately. eBikre is now BankNet. And something about IBBI. So remember, IBBI, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code के साथ आया था 2016. I have explained you the entire thing, right? And Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, it was established. It handles the cases. DRT को कौन सा देना है, NCLT को कौन सा देना है, right? And present chairperson of IBBI is Ravi Mittal. And it is headquartered at New Delhi. I hope this news is clear to all of you now. The next news we have is Nippon Life India Asset Management Limited. It has launched its inaugural fund from Gift City. So Nippon Life India Asset Management Limited has launched its own fund from the Gift City. Okay, this is a large cap fund. Large cap fund. Having large market capitalization. Large cap fund hai, and this has been launched from Gift City. Gift City, you know, is the only IFSC center in India. International Financial Services Center as of now. Gift City in Gujarat, right? So remember this thing, Nippon has launched a large cap fund. And one very important feature here is that this Nippon India large cap fund is a feeder fund. You need to understand this concept. It is a feeder fund. What does it mean? So since it is a feeder fund, it will be investing in Nippon India large cap fund, which is a master fund. So what is happening here is there is a feeder fund. Feeder fund kya hota hai? Feeder fund like this. They collect this money from the investors, they pool the money from the investors, and they do not invest directly into the securities. Are you getting my point? They invest in their master fund, and that master fund in turn invests it somewhere else. So here, Nippon India Large Cap Fund, Gift City, will be investing in its master fund, which is Nippon India Large Cap Fund, and this master fund then will be allocating it. So this is not direct, this is going through its master fund, and that's why the original one is known as the feeder fund. It is feeding the master fund and the master fund is doing the further thing. I hope it is clear. Tell me yes or no, right? So this was the news and this was the concept about feeder fund and master fund. And remember, it has been launched in Gift City, which is the only IFSC center as of now in India. And Gift City, Gujarat International Finance Tech City, is located in Gujarat, of course. And 10 April 2015, it was established. Who is the present chairman? Dr. Hasmukh Adhiya. MD and CEO is Tapan Ray, retired IS, right? So remember. This was again important. Then moving on to next news. We have National Financial Reporting Authority, NFRA, has released first series of Auditor Audit Committee Interactions, जिसका टाइटल क्या है? Audit of Accounting Estimates and Judgments Part 1, Expected Credit Losses under Indian Accounting Standards 109. Basically ये क्या है? The NFRA releases all these Indian accounting standards, right? NFRA first of all क्या करता है? National Financial Reporting Authority, NFRA sets out your accounting standards and reporting standards. जो भी आपके फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स होते हैं, रिपोर्टिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स होते हैं, उनको सेट आउट करता है, राइट, एंड रिलीज करता है टाइम टू टाइम द अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स. सो दिस हैज बीन रिलीज्ड. दिस इज इंटरैक्शन to improve the interaction between the and to ensure audit quality, better governance in financial reporting. You need not go in very depth in this. Just remember this much. And as I told you, NFRA is what? It is a statutory body. Is statutory body क्यों है? Because it has been established under a statute, under an act. So it has been established under Companies Act. Okay, under Section 132 of Companies Act. And as I told you, it does what? It oversees the auditing profession and ensures compliance with the Indian accounting standards. It ensures that companies, they are complying with the Indian accounting standards. Okay. So that was the news. This much only is relevant in that news. Next is Ujala. So the Ujala scheme has, successfully completed 10 years. Ujala stands for Unnat Jyoti by Affordable LEDs for All scheme. So it has completed 10 years of energy efficiency or energy efficient lighting. It was launched on 5th January 2015. Remember, 5th January 2015. What was the purpose of the scheme? The primary objective was to promote energy efficiency. See, LEDs होते हैं, LEDs are energy efficient in comparison to the traditional bulbs, है ना? तो जो traditional bulbs होते थे उनसे they are more energy efficient, they consume less of energy. So LEDs को install करना, promote करना was the major mission to reduce electricity consumption and make energy consumption more efficient. This was the broader purpose of Ujala scheme. So Ujala has completed 10 years, that's why it is in news. So please remember its launch date as well. 5th January 2015, it was inaugurated as the Domestic Efficient Lighting Program. And who has jointly executed this? This can again be a very important fact. So this was jointly executed by Energy Efficiency Services of India Limited and DISCOMs under the Ministry of Power. So जितने भी आपके power DISCOMs हैं, associated DISCOMs, right? Associated DISCOMs, they and the Energy Efficiency Services Limited, they combinedly have implemented the Ujala scheme under Ministry of Power. This is again important, remember, combined effort. And 5th January 2015, completion of 10 years. That's why this scheme is very, very important for all the exams this year. See, if you are facing difficulty in understanding financial terms, CA might help you, and you cannot wait for the finance syllabus to get covered, right? क्योंकि उसमें time लगेगा. It takes time to cover the entire static syllabus. What you can do is, in CA classes, if you are regular, that's why I'm always saying this thing. आपको CA अभी से याद नहीं रखना है for the exam. Okay, but then you have to watch the classes. Why? Because I'm explaining you each and every concept. जैसे अभी feeder fund था, master fund था, whatever ESI related finance concept is there, whatever concept is there, I'm explaining you in depth, right? So these classes can help you build up your conceptual clarity. If you wait for these static classes to happen, it will of course take time. तब तक lot of CA will get piled up. Got that point? So read these, PDFs, and if it is not possible to read the PDF, go through the classes daily. Concepts आपके उससे clear हो जाएंगे. Also, financial concepts के लिए glossary we are providing, the financial guide we are providing in the CA PDF at the end. So you can go through it. Whatever terms are in news, they are specially mentioned and you try to understand them. This is one way you can develop, and you can also read the finance related editorials. In just one newspaper, if you pick up and you try to understand the concepts, this way you can build up on the conceptual clarity. जो फैक्ट्स हैं वो आपको एग्जाम से 3 या 4 महीने पहले के ही याद रखने हैं बस. उससे पहले यू वॉच द क्लास टू अंडरस्टैंड द थिंग. अच्छा क्या होता है, सीए इज नॉट वन डे थिंग, राइट, और 1 मंथ थिंग कि फैब में जो आया इट विल बी entirely cut off from what has happened in January or what will be happening in March, right? So suppose IIP is in news constantly, IIP का static आपको पूरा याद हो जाएगा, CPI का static आपको याद हो जाएगा. Static पे you are done with these classes. So at the end you will only have to remember the facts. So be regular in the classes, that will help you, okay? So this was the Ujala scheme. Then next we have is National Institution for Transforming India, the Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog, which was also established on 1st January 2015, has also completed 10 successful years. So remember, Ujala scheme and Niti Aayog, they have completed 10 years. That's why both of them are important. नीति आयोग को क्यों बनाया था? नीति आयोग was established to replace the erstwhile planning commission. Planning commission used to do what? It used to have 5-year plans for the economic development. So 5-year plans, total 12 5-year plans it formulated, right? 12 5-year plans. 5-year में what are your priority areas, etc. They were done. Now Niti Aayog was something which replaced the planning commission. If you look at the organizational structure of Niti Aayog is chaired by Prime Minister. So Prime Minister is the ex officio chairperson of Niti Aayog. Ex officio means by virtue of that post. So Narendra Modi will be the chairperson of Niti Aayog until he is the Prime Minister. जब तक वो Prime Minister है तब तक chairman है, right? So that post is the chairperson. बाकी you have representation from all the states and UTs. Vice chairperson and CEO is also there. Then you have one governing council. Governing council में you have chief ministers or finance ministers from the states, from the UTs, lieutenant governors of the union territories as full-time members. So in the governing council, each and every state and union territories, they have representation. So this foundation of Niti Aayog is something we call as cooperative federalism. Remember, Niti Aayog works on the fundamental of cooperative federalism. That means you have equal opportunity. Every tier of the government, central government, state government, local government, you are having good opportunity to represent your region, to have a say in the decision making, which was not possible in planning commission. It was more centralized, right? यहाँ पे क्या है? It is more decentralized. Everyone is participating in the decision making process. And it is also known as the think tank of the government, where policies are, deliberated and then they are formulated. So this is about Niti Aayog. Remember, it is headquartered in New Delhi. Prime Minister is the chairperson. Presently, the vice chairperson of Niti Aayog is Suman Beri and CEO is VR Subramaniam. You can remember these present appointments as of now. Then next news we have is India's economy is expected to grow at 6.8% according to Bank of Baroda. This is not so much important. You need not remember this. There are a lot of growth projections. सबका आपको याद नहीं रखना, important organizations का याद रखना है, right? So just to go through the news, 6.8 Bank of Baroda ने expect किया है for financial year 25-26. Now moving on to regulatory bodies news. Regulatory bodies news में you have RBI. RBI has issued FAQs. Certain FAQs have been issued by RBI on the reset of floating interest rate on EMI based personal loans. So certain FAQs have been released by RBI. This is very important. It calls for an opportunity. So whatever personal loan you have, whatever comes under personal loan, it says all the banks, they must provide an opportunity to the borrower to switch from the floating to the fixed rate on all personal loans which are EMI based. This is the entire news, right? So first thing, what are personal loans as per this definition or as per RBI? As per RBI, personal loans will be loans, given to individuals which consist of, say, consumer credit due to any personal expenditure purpose. Education loan is also a personal loan. Loan given for, say, immovable assets जैसे हाउसिंग लोन एक्सेट्रा, ये भी एक पर्सनल लोन है, हाउस लोन, राइट. लोन्स गिवन फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट इन फाइनेंशियल एसेट्स. अच्छा, प्रोजेक्ट्स के लिए नहीं, जो फाइनेंशियल एसेट्स हैं जैसे शेयर्स, डिबेंचर्स, इनके लिए जो लोन दिया है दैट इज ऑल्सो पर्सनल लोन. On all these categories of personal loans, if it is EMI based, banks must provide an opportunity to the borrower. If they want, they can switch from the floating rate to a fixed rate, right? This is the thing. So what is the highlight? Highlight is that all the regulated entities, if they are banks, if they are NBFCs, whatever they are, such banks like banks, they must provide personal loan borrower with option of switching to or from a fixed rate, enhancement in EMI or elongation of number of EMIs, to prepay either in part or full. So these three are important features, remember. फ्लोटिंग या फिक्स रेट में से आपको स्विच करना है, फ्लोटिंग टू फिक्स, फिक्स टू फ्लोटिंग, यू शुड बी प्रोवाइडेड दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी if you are a borrower under personal loan category. Remember, this is only for personal loan, not for corporate loans, right? So remember this thing. Go through these 3 points. Switching to and from a fixed rate, enhancement of EMI or elongation of number of EMIs, prepay either in part or in full. अच्छा, floating and fixed rate में what is the difference? Floating rate में it might change according to, say, external or internal benchmark. External benchmark क्या है? Suppose repo rate changes. Repo rate is set by the RBI. Repo rate changes, so the interest rate might get lower. If it is lowered down, it might increase. If it is increasing, so it might change, right? So the liability of the payment of loan might affect you. If the interest falls down, interest rate falls down, the borrower might be at a good position. But what if it increases? So you might be at loss. In that case, if you have an opportunity to switch between fixed to floating and floating to fixed, you can easily switch in between and you can decide which option is better for you. This is the thing. Also, EMI को extend करना है या number of EMIs बढ़ानी है, वो opportunity भी देनी है banks को आपको. And then if you are a borrower and you want to prepay the loan, sometimes it happens, right? So banks, they charge hefty fees. If they want to prepay it, there might be penalties. So if in part or full you want to prepay, you will be allowed to prepay. This is the entire thing. And all such REs, they have to mandatorily offer this. No voluntary usme ye hai. This is mandatory and this is applying to loan linked to both external and internal benchmarks. What does it mean? External benchmark is where your interest rates are taking reference from. External benchmark क्या है? RRLR. Remember, RRLR is known as external benchmark. RRLR को external benchmark कहते हैं. RRLR. What is RRLR? Repo rate based lending rate. क्योंकि repo is decided outside the bank by the RBI. External benchmark. ओके, इंटरनल बेंचमार्क क्या है? जो बैंक्स खुद डिसाइड करते हैं, दी MCLR. MCLR क्या है? मार्जिनल कॉस्ट ऑफ फंड्स बेस्ड लेंडिंग रेट. मार्जिनल कॉस्ट ऑफ फंड्स बेस्ड लेंडिंग रेट, MCLR बैंक्स अपने आप डिसाइड करते हैं ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर कॉस्ट ऑफ फंड्स इनकर्ड. कितना कॉस्ट लग रहा है लोन अरेंज करने के लिए, ऑल दीज थिंग्स. सो दोनों टाइप के लोन्स जो RRLR से लिंक्ड है या MCLR से लिंक्ड है, उन पे ये एप्लीकेबल है. This is the thing. And remember, it is also applicable to the एग्जिस्टिंग बोरोवर्स, पर्सनल लोन कैटेगरी में एग्जिस्टिंग जो बोरोवर्स हैं, नए बोरोवर्स नहीं, द एग्जिस्टिंग वंस, दे आर ऑल्सो एलिजिबल. सो दिस इज अ गुड डिसीजन कमिंग फ्रॉम आरबीआई, राइट? नेक्स्ट थिंग, SEBI has renewed its recognition of AMC Repo Clearing Limited as clearing corporation for 1 year till 16th January 2026. It will be now clearing corporation for clearing and settling transactions in repo and reverse repo debt securities. So now remember this AMC Repo Clearing Limited को 1 साल का और रिन्यूअल जो है लाइसेंस का दिया है किसने? सेबी ने, टू work as clearing corporation. Clearing corporation क्या होती है? Which clears and settles down the transactions, works as a counterparty, right? So it will be working till 16 January 2026, and remember it will only be working in debt securities market. रेपो, रिवर्स रेपो ट्रांजेक्शंस जितने भी हैं, जितने भी रेपो रिवर्स रेपो ट्रांजेक्शंस हैं जिसमें गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज आर प्लेस्ड एज कोलेटरल, उनके ट्रांजेक्शंस के लिए, उनके सेटलमेंट के लिए इट कैन वर्क एज अ clearing corporation. It can settle down these transactions, right? Understood everyone? And remember, only for debt securities. Debt securities matlab like bonds, T-bills, government securities, right? Which are debt raising instruments. Okay? So it will be working only in debt securities. Then next we have is SEBI has modified credit rating agency rules. This is again very important. SEBI ने credit rating agencies के लिए कुछ rules modify किए हैं, where you know ease of doing business को थोड़ा सा easy बनाने के लिए working days की definition को replace कर दिया है, calendar days को replace कर दिया है working days से. Remember, calendar days will be replaced with working days. So what is the thing? See, credit rating agencies, they are required to publish press releases on rating actions within 7 working days. Okay. So what happens is these credit rating agencies, they have to comply with the guidelines. Pehli cheez, they have to publish certain press releases regarding the rating actions. Whatever ratings you have provided, you have revised rating for certain entities, उन सब का press release आपको provide करना होता है. Whatever guidelines you need to comply with, earlier the system was calendar days. What is the difference between calendar day and working day? Suppose if I am saying I have to do something within 7 calendar days, so Sunday will be counted into it. Yes or no? Whether Sunday is a working day or not, it is a calendar day, isn't it? But then how do you measure it? So इससे discrepancies create होती हैं. Sunday को you do not work in most of the offices, right? So if it is not a calendar day, then what will count as another calendar day? Will we be able to extend it for say 1 extra day? So a lot of doubts and confusion and all. To make it clear, working day ke definition we have brought. Working day would mean if it is Sunday tomorrow, of course Monday will be counted as next working day. Right? Yes or no? Hai? So this is the thing. Now as per this thing, remember these points. First, क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसीज को जो प्रेस रिलीज पब्लिश करनी होती है, इट विल हैव टू पब्लिश दिस थिंग विद इन 7 वर्किंग डेज. 7 वर्किंग डेज. अर्लियर इट वाज 7 कैलेंडर डेज. नाउ इट विल बी 7 वर्किंग डेज. तो बीच में जो भी ऑफ होगा उस पर यू डोंट हैव टू वर्क, राइट? रिमेंबर. देन रिव्यूइंग रेटिंग इन केसेस ऑफ डिलेज इन डेट सर्विसिंग. नाउ सपोज there is any company जिसकी पहले रेटिंग अच्छी थी बट अभी रिसेंट टाइम में डेट सर्विसिंग नहीं किया, दैट मीन्स टाइमली रीपेमेंट नहीं किया है लोन का. सो यू एज अ क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसी want to revise the rating. In that case you will have to do this within 2 working days. अब वो आपको कितने दिन में करना होगा? रिविजन ऑफ एनी क्रेडिट रेटिंग अकॉर्डेड within 2 working days. Earlier it was 2 calendar days, right? Then SEBI has also said, you know, time frame for tagging ratings as issuer not cooperating due to 3 consecutive months of non-submission of no default statement. It will have to be done within 5 working days. See, what happens is, suppose I am a credit rating agency and I want to get information from someone, from a company, from a financial institution, but that institution is not cooperating, issuer not cooperating, right? You are not disclosing the information, you are not providing the apt information which I want to rate you, right? So in that case, suppose if you have not submitted no default statement for 3 consecutive months, no default statement, that means whatever information you have gathered from us has no default and it is ready to be published. अगर आपने 3 consecutive months के लिए no default statement provide नहीं किया है, then credit rating agency will be giving you a tag that issuer is not cooperating with us. तो ये टैग देने की जो टाइमलाइन है अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस नई गाइडलाइन, इट विल बी 5 वर्किंग डेज. रिमेंबर, this tag can be provided within 5 working days. So remember 7, 2 and 5. I hope this guideline is clear everyone. Working days wali. That was it about regulatory news. Then we move on to the national news. We have Gaddi. Gaddi is basically a dog breed which has been officially recognized now. You can look at this image in Himachal Pradesh. So your Indian Council of Agriculture Research, National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources, it has recognized Gaddi as registered indigenous dog breed from Himalayas. It has been officially recognized as indigenous dog breed from Himalayas. So remember what is Gaddi? Gaddi is a dog breed, indigenous dog breed from Himalayas. Remember this, okay? और इसका नाम गड्डी क्यों रखा है? गड्डी बेसिकली आर शेफर्ड्स इन हिमाचल प्रदेश. शेफर्ड्स क्या होते हैं? दी नोमैडिक हर्डर्स, है ना? दीज आर शेफर्ड्स. एंड रिमेंबर दिस इज द 4th इंडिजिनस ब्रीड आफ्टर राजपलायम एंड चिप्पीपाराई एंड मुधोल ऑफ कर्नाटका. सो राजपलायम एंड चिप्पीपाराई ऑफ तमिलनाडु एंड मुधोल हाउंड ऑफ कर्नाटका, इन 3 ब्रीड्स के बाद गड्डी इज द 4th वन इंडिजिनस ब्रीड. ओके, रिमेंबर दीज नेम्स. सारे आपको याद नहीं भी रखने हैं, बट दी वन इन न्यूज. Then we have UIDAI, the Unique Identification Authority of India, which implements the Adar related laws. It has launched AI chatbot called Adar Mitra. Adar Mitra it has launched in English and Hindi. Now this AI chatbot Adar Mitra can be used to track status of your card, of your Aadhaar card, PVC. जो आधार कार्ड आपको मिलता है ओरिजिनल, the harder one, right? It is PVC, polyvinyl chloride, उसमें जो प्लास्टिक होता है, it is made of. So that's what is PVC here. PVC card. You can locate your nearest PEC, permanent enrollment center. What are these permanent enrollment centers? आपने देखा होगा banks, post offices, इनकी branches में there are offices where you can go, and if there is, you know, mistake in your Aadhaar information, you can go and ask them to correct it. So आपके nearest कौन से such PECs हैं, कौन सा nearest location पे है, you can search all these things with this help of this AI chatbot launched by UIDAI, which is Adar Mitra. Remember, and Aadhaar का remember this thing as well, it is a 12-digit identification number, है ना? 12-digit identification number. So Aadhaar is of 12 digits. Then you have during the second meeting of Indian Waterways Development Council, Union Minister of Ports and Shipments has launched National River Traffic and Navigation System. National River Traffic and Navigation System. What is this? This basically has been launched to ensure that there is seamless, without any hurdle, and sustainable movement of inland vessels. So there is oceanic cargo, there is road transportation, है ना? But then there are inland waterways, inland movement of vessels as well, जो riverine होते हैं, inland channels को use करते हैं, right? To ensure that they are also well executed, there is no infrastructure, lack of supply chain infrastructure for that, and they are sustainable as well. So this is for inland waterways, right? Under this, they have announced that they will be investing more than 1400 crores to boost this entire infrastructure for inland waterways transport and setting up network in 21 states across the country, as I have told you. And he has also announced setting up of 6 floating steel jetties. Remember, how many? 6 floating steel jetties on river Godavari, which is National Waterways 4 in Andhra Pradesh. Now, what are these jetties? Jetties क्या होती है? See, कोई भी river का coast है या oceanic coast है, and some ship wants to dock there. So you want something to attach it, right? So jetties, they help you in holding these boats and ships and attach them, right? ये jetties होती हैं. So they will be installing these jetties in NW4, National Waterway 4, remember, in Andhra Pradesh. And recently we have discussed the Jal Vahak scheme. Recently in this year we have discussed the Jal Vahak scheme as well. Jal Vahak scheme. So what was Jal Vahak scheme? Jal Vahak scheme, basically it was launched for incentivizing the movement of cargo via NW1, NW2 and NW16. Remember, Jal Vahak recently we have covered. National Waterways के through cargo movement को promote करने के लिए था. NW1 which is on river Ganga, Waterways 2 river Brahmaputra and 16 on Barak river. So remember on which rivers they are and what are the numbers. So 1, 2 and 16 are covered under Jal Vahak. And for this purpose, all of this purpose, IWDC, Inland Waterways Development Council, was recently established in 2023. Inland Waterways Development Council was recently established in 2023. Then next is, India will be hosting conference of speakers and presiding officers of parliaments of Commonwealth countries in 2026. Remember, this is again important. So in 2026, this thing, CSPOC, Conference of Speakers and Presiding Officers of Parliaments of Commonwealth countries, this will be hosted by India. So India is the host in 2026. Remember. India is the host in 2026. Okay. And this will be the 28th edition of the meeting. So what is it? Commonwealth nations, आप जानते हैं, Commonwealth countries are those countries which were earlier colonies of the Britishers, right? जो भी colonies थी Britishers की, उनका एक group है Commonwealth nations. Commonwealth countries के जितने भी parliaments हैं, जो भी legislatures हैं, उनके speakers will participate into this, and they will have discussions on a lot of things, right, on the concurrent issues. So 28th edition will be there in 2026. India will be hosting it. And remember, India had hosted such conference in 1970, 71, 86 and 2010. उसके बाद अब we will be hosting. So this is going to be very very important. 2026 में India will be hosting. Earlier हमने इन 3 साल में last 2010 में host की थी. And this standing committee of this CSPOC has 15 members. And the quorum is 5 members. That means इसकी जो standing committee की meeting होती है, उसके लिए कम से कम 5 members चाहिए. Quorum मतलब होता है किसी भी council या body का जो quorum होता है. That means at least minimum these members should be there to initiate meeting of that body or council. Right? So remember this thing. Then we have Prime Minister has participated in a recent podcast. आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, काफी reels viral हो रही हैं. So there was a recent podcast by entrepreneur Nikhil Kamath, who is co-founder of Zerodha. Okay, Zerodha, जो broking account है, broker है basically, right, which provides you opportunity to register and to create demat account and all. So Zerodha is registered, I think, with CDSL or NSDL, either one of them. and the podcast name was People by WTF. इस पॉडकास्ट में प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने पार्टिसिपेट किया था रिसेंटली, पीपल बाय WTF. नेक्स्ट इज योर India will be launching, or India has launched, framework for exchange of data protocols and Indian biological data center portals. For what? For genome editing, basically at the Genome India Data Conclave in New Delhi. इस कॉन्क्लेव में इंडिया ने लॉन्च किया है फ्रेमवर्क फॉर एक्सचेंज ऑफ डेटा प्रोटोकॉल्स एंड इंडियन बायोलॉजिकल डेटा सेंटर. नाउ दिस इज टू एनहांस इंडियाज डेटा रिकवरी एंड डेटा collection of genome. So this is basically dealing with the genome data. What is genome? किसी भी एक ऑर्गेनिज्म में, सपोज एक इंडिविजुअल ह्यूमन बीइंग है, उसमें जितना भी जेनेटिक मटेरियल होता है, उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन, कलेक्शन ऑफ ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड टू द जेनेटिक मटेरियल ऑफ अ स्पेसिफिक ऑर्गेनिज्म और इंडिविजुअल इज जीनोम. जीनोम का यूज क्या है? जीनोम इज वेरी मच यूजफुल इन साइंस, राइट? So that's why you see countries are working towards having genome data. They can use the genetic information to have medications, to have solutions to certain problems, chronic diseases, treatments like for cancer, etc., and other, say, genetic disorders like Down syndrome. So lot of helpful medications can arrive out of it. A lot of applications it has. So this is regarding genome, remember. And India has also launched Indian Genome Data Set. This is an initiative by Indian government, Indian Genomic Data Set, where we want to collect all the genetic data of our individuals, of all Indians, you know. This is government-backed project launched in 2020, where we want to have all the genetic information related to Indian populations. And this Indian Biological Data Center, it will be providing access to genomic data. All the researchers who want to work with this regard to access the genomic data and to further research on it for R&D purposes, you can access it from the Indian Biological Data Center. And the framework for exchange of data protocols, it will be responsible for sharing high quality genomic data. Both will be sharing data for the researchers for further R&D. This is the entire news. Remember this. The next one is Coal Minister. So Coal and Mines Minister has inaugurated 5G use case test lab. 5G use case test lab at the Central Mine Planning and Design Institute in Ranchi. Now what is this? This is to advance coal sector's digital transformation and technology landscape. Basically coal industry में, mining industry में, how you can better integrate 5G, right? So 5G का integration in the coal industry to meet the needs of the coal industry. This is the purpose of this news. And also remember, Ministry of Coal has nominated the CMPDI, Central Mines Planning and Design Institute, as Center of Excellence for establishing 5G use labs. So basically we want to capitalize, we want to leverage on the 5G technology to further expand our possibilities of coal and mining. This is the thing. And remember, CMPDI, the Central Mine Planning and Design Institute, is one of the center of excellence working towards this adoption of 5G in mines and coal industry. Next news we have is Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal has launched 8th edition of National Program for Organic Production. So organic production के national program का 8th edition has been launched. This program of course wants to have more of organic production in the country, and we also want to export more of such organic products, right? Organic farming को promote भी करना है, and then we want to export them. And India's total export value of organic farming, remember, it has the potential to reach 20,000 crores in next 3 years. ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग एक्सपोर्ट्स का अगर हम वैल्यू देखें, सो it is expected that it can cross the mark of 20,000 crores in next 3 years. So we want to capitalize upon this opportunity in the next 3 years. For this purpose, this mission has been launched, and under this, several portals have been launched by the ministry. Let's see broadly what are these portals. First is TraceNet 2.0. TraceNet 2.0. TraceNet 2.0 will be doing what? It will be upgrading the online traceability system. For all such projects, for all such entities working towards organic farming, उनको trace कर सकता है, information आप trace कर सकते हो, movement of your goods associated with the organic production उनको trace कर सकते हो. Second, APEDA portal. APEDA portal will be enhancing user experience. So basically you can get information over this portal, okay, for agri and processed food products stakeholders. Anyone who is working towards organic farming, you want to access some information, there's one-stop solution, which is a APEDA portal. Then you have NPOP portal, the National Program for Organic Production, NPOP. It will again be providing you information and ease of operations. Whatever operation you want to register for, you can access the NPOP portal. Then organic promotion portal, which will again be helping all the stakeholders like farmers, like FPOs. They can participate on this portal, they can share their information, and they can collectively participate, help each other in organic farming promotion and production. Then Agri Exchange portal. Agri Exchange portal again will be a user-friendly data analysis. It will generate reports related to such exports. That reports might be helpful in understanding what is the trend, what are the challenges, how can you boost it up. So all these portals are associated here in this news, remember them. Then next news is, it is saying Center will be selling rice at 28 rupees kg for from the FCI stocks to distilleries for production of ethanol. अच्छा, ethanol blending जो है, ethanol blending से we get a cleaner fuel, right? ethanol blending से combustion के बाद जो pollution होता है in the engines, in the vehicular engines, वो reduce हो जाता है up to certain limit if you blend ethanol with say petrol or diesel, whatever it is, right, in the motor vehicles. Now ethanol production we are trying to expand, and we are trying to achieve 100% blending of ethanol in India for basic fuels like fossil fuels etc. तो ethanol blending को promote करने के लिए ethanol production जरूरी है. Ethanol productions के लिए you need to have the items available which are used for production of ethanol at subsidized rate. So center has said कि FCI के जितने भी stocks हैं जो center maintain करता है, उसमें से rice they will be providing at ₹28 per kg, which will be used for fermentation and production of ethanol. ethanol production के लिए use होगा. Remember this. Ethanol क्या है? Ethanol is a type of alcohol which is generated after fermentation. Lot of inputs can be used, like sugar cane is used, right? Sugar cane use होता है ethanol में. Molasses, they are used in ethanol. Agriculture waste can also be used. Lot of things can be used. Cassava, all these things are used in ethanol blending or production of ethanol, right? Rice can also be used for production of ethanol after fermentation. So उस पर्पस के लिए रिमेंबर 28 रुपए kg के हिसाब से they will be providing. Next news. Uttar Pradesh has become the first state in India to fully integrate its procurement process with the government e-marketplace, GEM. गवर्नमेंट ई मार्केट प्लेस के साथ अपना पूरा प्रोक्यूरमेंट प्रोसेस इंटीग्रेट करने वाला यूपी इज द फर्स्ट स्टेट. ओके, GEM क्या है? गवर्नमेंट ई मार्केट प्लेस इज 100% गवर्नमेंट ओन्ड पब्लिक प्रोक्यूरमेंट पोर्टल है. जितनी भी आपकी गवर्नमेंट की ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, गवर्नमेंट PSUs हैं, गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं, उन्हें कुछ भी प्रोक्यूरमेंट करना है, कुछ भी खरीदना है, उसके लिए यू हैव अ सिंगल डेडिकेटेड प्लेटफॉर्म, राइट? as a department, if you want to procure something for your departmental purpose, you go to this platform, you can do this, right? GEM, Government E-Marketplace. And this is 100% government owned, remember. And to integrate all such procurement process, to get all such procurement from GEM, Uttar Pradesh has become the first state in India to do this via GEM. This is the news. At this, remember, Government E-Marketplace, it was launched by Ministry of Commerce and Industry in 2016. मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री ने इसको इंट्रोड्यूस किया था 2016 में, रिमेंबर, ओके, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री. Then next is Tamil Nadu government is planning to set up 2 million square feet facility for AI in Coimbatore under PPP mode. So they want to establish some AI facility for AI based technical research and development. This is not important. Next one is Karnataka will establish Genes Park. You know, Karnataka is planning to establish a Genes Park. Genes Park क्या होता है? There, jeans is widely used in the apparel segment. तो jeans के production के लिए it will be there. So it will be boost production of jeans. It will be placing Karnataka as top producer and exporter of jeans, and also it will generate employment opportunities. So Karnataka is planning to have this Genes Park near Bellary in Karnataka. Remember. Then next is Ministry of Home Affairs has approved an emblem or logo for the Tripura government. This is the emblem or logo for Tripura government, has been recently approved by MHA. Government of Tripura, you have the map of Tripura and you have the national emblem engraved with the Satyamev Jayate in between. Okay, and then you have the orange color, you have the tricolor itself in the emblem. So since Tripura is in news, so Tripura ka static portion becomes important. Remember, Tripura ki capital is Agartala, right? Chief Minister presently is Manik Saha, and then Governor is N. Indrasen Reddy. Then you have Jharkhand government has revised benefits under the Mukhyamantri Maiya Samman Yojana, okay, which was launched by the Chief Minister of the state in 2024 August. So this Mukhyamantri Maiya Samman Yojana is financial assistance program where they provide direct cash transfers to women. Okay, so this is to ensure financial security of women. Initial benefit kitna tha? 1,000 per month to the eligible beneficiary. 1,000 rupees per month per beneficiary. Now the revised benefit is 2,500 per month. So since it has been revised, it can be important. Earlier 1,000 rupees per month per beneficiary, now it will be 2,500 rupees per month per beneficiary. And targeted beneficiaries कौन है? Women between the age of 21 to 49 years. 21 to 49 years. Okay, remember this thing. Then we have Goa CM launching the Bima Sakhi Yojana. Bima Sakhi Yojana, Goa CM has launched to empower women, train them in LIC, becoming LIC agent. So Bima Sakhi Yojana क्या है? पहले भी हमने cover की है. By IRDAI it has been there. Bima Sakhi Yojana, under it they want to train women or volunteers to become LIC agents. This way they will get employment, and the life insurance corporation, life insurance companies, they will get the human capital, right? So this is the thing. And under Bima Sakhi Yojana, they will be providing training and career opportunities to women aged between 18 to 70 years of age. They can become LIC agents, and during the training period also they will be getting stipend. So the internship or the training would be stipend 7,000 per month in the first year, then 6,000 in the second year, and 5,000 in the third year. So remember this thing in Bima Sakhi Yojana, this figure can be important. First year mein training mein they will be provided with 7,000 per month in the first year, 6,000 per month in the second year, and then 5,000 per month in the third year. Remember, okay. Then next is Parth Yojana. Parth Yojana launched by Madhya Pradesh government. What is this Parth Yojana? PARTH stands for Police Army Recruitment Training and Hunar. Police Army. So basically Madhya Pradesh government has launched this to offer pre-recruitment training to youth aspiring to join the Indian Army, police, paramilitary forces. If the youth wants to join all these military forces or paramilitary forces, the Madhya Pradesh government will be providing them initial training or pre-recruitment training. Remember this. This is the entire scheme and this is being implemented by Madhya Pradesh government. Then we have international news. International news mein you have Interpol. Interpol has introduced its first silver notice. Interpol and भारत पोल रिसेंटली हमने कवर किया था. भारत पोल पोर्टल गवर्नमेंट ने लॉन्च किया है टू बेटर इंटरैक्ट विद द इंटरपोल. इंटरपोल इज व्हाट? इंटरनेशनल पुलिस, राइट? इंटरपोल क्या है? इंटरपोल इज इंटरनेशनल पुलिस. भारत पोल पोर्टल इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने लॉन्च किया है जिसपे वी विल बी बेटर एबल टू शेयर इंफॉर्मेशन and participate, cooperate with Interpol. बहुत डिटेल में हमने प्रीवियस क्लासेस में दोनों चीजें कवर की है. रिवाइज इट प्रॉपर्ली. सो अभी इंटरपोल इज अगेन इन न्यूज बिकॉज ऑफ सिल्वर नोटिस. इंटरपोल ने उसका पहला सिल्वर नोटिस इंट्रोड्यूस किया है टू ट्रेस एसेट्स लॉन्च्ड अक्रॉस इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर्स. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड इंटरनेशनल पुलिस जो है it tries to locate individuals, locate their assets across the borders. There are different notices which it releases. Before that, Interpol is headquartered. Remember, Interpol इस साल बहुत न्यूज में है. Since January it is in news. भारत पोल की वजह से भी न्यूज में है. So it is there's very high probability you can expect a question on Interpol static as well. Remember, it is headquartered at Lyon in France. 196 member states are there. There are different notices of Interpol. Red notice होता है, wanted persons के लिए issue होता है. Yellow notice if someone is missing. Blue notice if you want to get some additional information regarding someone. Black notice if you have some unidentified bodies you want to deal with. Green notice when you want to provide certain warnings to someone. Then you have orange notice if there is any imminent threat arising out of any individual or organization. Then you have purple notice for modus operandi, that this is the procedure we are going to proceed with this case, right? Silver notice किसके लिए होता है? Silver notice पहली बार issue किया है, अभी pilot phase में ही है. Remember, है ना? Earlier notices were also already there, but silver notice अभी पायलट फेज में है, अभी इशू हुआ है. सो दिस इज फॉर आइडेंटिफिकेशन एंड ट्रेसिंग ऑफ क्रिमिनल एसेट्स. whatever criminal assets are there, you need to identify them and you need to trace them. उसके लिए silver notice issue किया जाता है. Remember this thing. I hope it is clear, everyone. Then talking about MOUs. So you have Animal Welfare Board of India. It has signed an MOU with Nalsar University for providing training, to civil society members as to how you can participate in the animal welfare, how you can participate in preventing cruelty towards animals. So this is the MOU they have signed for. Then you have Greenstat Hydrogen India, and the H2 carrier. They have signed MOU for what? For development of green hydrogen and green hydrogen based projects and ammonia projects in India and Sri Lanka. Remember, this MOU has been signed to establish green hydrogen based projects in India and Sri Lanka. Okay. Then moving on to Science Tech news. Science Tech may you have India, launching genomic data set in IBDC portals to empower global research. We have discussed this thing already. Genomic data center हमने डिस्कस कर लिया ऑलरेडी, राइट? नेशनल न्यूज में भी कर लिया हमने इसको डिटेल में. वी हैव डिस्कस दिस थिंग अर्लियर ओनली. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू रिपोर्ट्स में वी हैव द ओरियोस वेंचर पार्टनर्स रिपोर्ट व्हिच इज इंडिया टेक यूनिकॉर्न्स एंड एग्जिट्स रिपोर्ट. India Tech Unicorn and their exits report. According to this, India is third largest nation for venture capital backed IPOs globally. Remember, India is startup में भी इंडिया की रैंक थर्ड ही है, and in the venture capital backed टेक IPOs में भी इंडिया की रैंक 3rd है. So remember this rank, this is important. All these top 3 participants, right? So what are venture capital backed IPOs? जितने भी IPOs ऐसी कंपनीज अपनी इशू कर रही हैं विच आर वेंचर कैपिटल बैक्ड. वेंचर कैपिटल क्या होती है? वेंचर कैपिटल लिमिटेड पार्टनर्स से पैसा उठाते हैं, राइट, एंड दे इन्वेस्ट इन दी ग्रोइंग स्टार्टअप्स विच हैव मोस्ट प्रोबेबिलिटी टू ग्रो इन द मार्केट. उसमें पैसा लगाते हैं, राइट. तो ऐसे जितने भी IPOs हैं विच आर बैक्ड बाय वेंचर कैपिटल, उसमें इंडिया की रैंक कितनी है? 3rd लार्जेस्ट. 3rd, रिमेंबर. सो देन हु आर दी फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड? US एंड चाइना. US and China. Remember, first is US, second is China. First is US, second is China. And remember this information as well, this can be important. Swiggy का जो IPO है with $1.34 billion of value, it became the largest global tech IPO of the year. ग्लोबल लेवल पे, सो दिस कैन बी इंपॉर्टेंट, ग्लोबल लेवल पे लार्जेस्ट टेक IPO ऑफ द ईयर इज स्विगी. ओके, द नेक्स्ट इज अवार्ड्स. सो अवार्ड्स में यू हैव Mumbai Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaja International Airport has become first airport in India and 3rd globally to achieve level 5 accreditation from Airports Council International. So remember, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport, first airport in India and 3rd globally to receive this level 5 accreditation. What is this? This is highest distinction कि customer experience वगैरह के basis पे they rate this and they provide this award. So customer experience is best in this, remember. Then you have President conferring प्रवासी भारतीय सम्मान to 27 members of Indian diaspora. 2025 में प्रवासी भारतीय सम्मान have been awarded to 27 such members for their community service, service towards education, medical science, science and technology, business, politics, इन सभी categories में. Important awardees अगर हम देखें तो Trinidad and Tobago President Christine Carl Kanglu, public affairs की category में he has been awarded. And if you can tell me why this person was in news recently. If you can tell me from the previous classes, Trinidad and Tobago President Christine Carl Kanglu was in news recently. So this is one of the awardees. Then Cognizant CEO Ravi Kumar is the other. That Indian physician Dr. Syed Anwar. These three are important awardees. You can remember them. प्रवासी भारतीय सम्मान हाईएस्ट ऑनर है जो ओवरसीज इंडियंस को प्रोवाइड किया जाता है फॉर देयर एग्जेम्पलरी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन, राइट. नेक्स्ट स्पोर्ट्स की अगर हम बात करें, सो इंडियन फास्ट बॉलर जसप्रीत बुमराह कंटिन्यूज टू रीन सुप्रीमेसी as the top bowler with best career rating of 908 in the latest ICC test ratings. So अभी तक सबसे बेस्ट रेटिंग के साथ is the top one. जसप्रीत बुमराह remains 1 in the ICC test rankings. Then you have Boxing Federation of India. Boxing Federation of India ने नई weight classes category assign की है to men and women both categories. Remember 10 categories it has assigned. You need not remember all the weight class categories. You just remember कि कितनी है, 10 weight categories, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 you see here and then 10 here. So 10 in men and women new weight categories they have assigned in boxing by Boxing Federation of India. Just remember this much, सारी categories आपको नहीं याद रखनी है, 10 हैं, बस इतना याद रखना है. Appointments में we have Rajiv Mehta appointed as first Indian Secretary General of Fencing Confederation of Asia. Then you have Brijendra Pratap Singh appointed as Chairman cum Managing Director of National Aluminium Company. Then K.A. Shabir appointed as CEO of Fun School India, which is a toy manufacturing company by the MRF group. So these are certain appointments. Talking about conference, Prime Minister, remember, will participate in Artificial Intelligence Action Summit, which is scheduled to be held in France. So remember location here. This Artificial Intelligence Summit is scheduled to happen where? In France. When? From 10 to 11 February. 10 to 11 February फ्रांस में होनी है. Prime Minister will be participating, remember, and this will be focusing on 5 themes. So remember all of these 5 themes also. First, public interest in AI. Second, future of work. Third, innovation and culture. Fourth, trust in AI. And then global AI governance. These are the 5 themes which will be there. France में ये होगी. Prime Minister will be participating. Obituaries में we have H. Lakshmanan, former executive director of Sundaram Clayton and TVS Motor Company. Then you have Earth Rotation Day, important days category में Earth Rotation Day, okay, 8th January. So Earth Rotation Day is observed on 8th of January. There's no theme associated with this. Last we have person in news. Person in news के लिए we have Manchester United forward, which is one of the very important football clubs. So Manchester United forward Ahmed Diallo has signed a contract extension with Premier League club until 2030. So this one is there. This is not so much important. You can skip this one. And appointments भी कुछ ज़्यादा important नहीं है अभी. That was it for the 10th January CA. Now it's time for CA shorts. Quickly tell me the answers of the top 5 MCQs. First question. Quickly tell me which of the following recently became the 5th RBI regulated trades platform in India? Anyone? 5th RBI regulated trades platform in India. So if you remember, it is CrackGradeB. Correct option would be option C. Very good. CrackGradeB is the 5th largest, 5th RBI regulated trades platform. 5th one, right? Then RBI recently has issued certain FAQs on resetting of floating and fixed interest rate, where the personal loan category में they require the regulated entities to provide flexibility to the customer to switch to any of these interest rates. Accordingly, read the following statements and tell me which one is the incorrect one. Tell me the incorrect statement. Quickly, which one is the incorrect one? So if you look at the first statement, regulated entities, they will have to provide voluntarily this fixed interest rate. This is incorrect, right? This is not voluntarily, this is mandatorily. This is not voluntarily. No, C नहीं है. A is incorrect. A is incorrect because ये voluntary basis पे नहीं है. This is mandatory for all the regulated entities, right? All other statements are correct. A is incorrect. Voluntary नहीं है, mandatory है. Next question. Sebi has recently revised the timeline for CRAs to enhance the ease of doing business, जिसमें हमने कैलेंडर डेज को वर्किंग डेज से रिप्लेस किया है. फॉर दिस पर्पज रीड दी स्टेटमेंट एंड टेल मी द करेक्ट वन हियर. यहां पर आपको मुझे करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट बताना है, राइट? Aditya Prakash, should I have to make notes of CA? No, not at all. How to point out important ones? Daily CA is too much vast. See, Aditya, first thing, अगर आप CA के notes बनाओगे, you will end up publishing an entire book. ठीक है? Next thing, important क्या है, कैसे identify करें? PYQs, first of all, they are the best guide. Previous year questions देखो, whichever exam you are targeting, किस type के question आ रहे हैं. Also, if you are regular in the class, I always tell you, in the class, I have always highlighted the important facts. And in each news, I'm telling you, this is important, please remember this, skip this one. So this is the best way you can identify. इसको याद रखना है, इसको छोड़ना है. एग्जाम से 3 से 4 महीने पहले का डेटा आपको याद रखना, उससे पहले का काम नहीं आएगा. तो आपको अलग से नोट्स नहीं बनाने. हाँ, रेगुलर रहना है, क्योंकि उससे आपकी कंसेप्ट वाला काम पूरा हो जाएगा. फाइनेंशियल और ESI के कॉन्सेप्ट्स, राइट? दिस इज द थिंग विच आई वुड सजेस्ट यू. और जितने हम शॉर्ट सीरीज में ये MCQs कर रहे हैं, दे आर ऑन दी रिसेंट एग्जाम पैटर्न ओनली. तो इनसे यू कैन गेस कि किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं. The homework question I'm giving you, right? Learning exercise I'm giving you, all these things and the short series. This is the best way. And the PYQs. In class itself I'm telling you क्या important है क्या नहीं है. और recent exams आप देखो. हाँ, तो RBI ग्रेड बी के लिए आप recent papers देखो RBI ग्रेड बी के, और RBI ग्रेड बी का ही जो पैटर्न है वी आर फॉलोइंग इन द एग्जाम्स इन द क्वेश्चंस एज वेल. तो आपको पता लग जाएगा कि किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं. और व्हेन यू लुक एट द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स, then you will be able to filter out the information ki acha this is important, ranks are important, right? This is the thing. Yes, here which one is the correct one? So Tara is saying B. Okay, for reviewing ratings in cases of delays, so first one, if you see, this is not 6, right? This is 7 working days. And for reviewing cases of debt servicing, it is 2 working days. Okay, that is true. Tagging ke liye it is 4, nahi, it is 5 working days. So A and C are incorrect one. Second one is the correct one. Very good. B is the correct option. And regulatory bodies news तो important है ही, उसमें आपको कुछ भी filter नहीं करना है. Regulatory bodies news में जो भी आ रहा है, everything is important. Okay. Next question, question number 4. According to Oris Venture Partners report, India Tech Unicorns exit report में, which of the following countries are at top 3? So this is the one of the latest patterns asked. You can guess these kind of questions will be important. Top 3 ranks according to the report. Quickly, top 3 countries in the correct order. In the correct order. Top 3 countries according to this report. Quickly tell me. Very good. C is the right answer. US, China and India. India is at 3rd rank, right? US, China and India. Last question of the short series. BFI, the Boxing Federation of India, has recently added some new weight classes to each category, men and women. How many classes, how many weight classes it has added? Tell me. How many weight classes it has added to each of the categories? So the correct answer would be 10 categories, right? 10 classes add की है, men and women में 10 weight classes they have added, right? Now this is the learning exercise for you today. Recently we have discussed that Prime Minister is going to participate in the Artificial Intelligence Action Summit, which is scheduled to be held in France between 10th to 11th February. You have to tell me which of the following is not one of the themes under this. इस summit में जो 5 themes and they are focusing on, इनमें से कौन सी नहीं है? So this is the learning exercise for you. You will be telling me the answer to this question. You will be giving me the answer in the comment section today itself, right? Comment section में आप बताएंगे कौन सा नहीं है, या फिर you can tell me what all are the 5 themes of this, right? And last question जो मैंने आपको दिया था yesterday's class learning exercise, उसका काफ़ी अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स आया है. दिस वॉज द क्वेश्चन कि 21st एडिशन ऑफ थर्ड आई एशियन फिल्म फेस्टिवल के बारे में आई आस्क्ड यू हाउ मेनी फिल्म्स विल बी स्क्रीन एंड विच इज द ओपनिंग फिल्म. सो लॉट ऑफ यू हैव गिवन मी द आंसर्स. वेल डन. Suraj Patil, right? Then you have Isha Bhadoria, Nishtha Gupta, Prerna. All of your answers are correct. 61 films and Black Dog is the opening film. ये कल का लर्निंग एक्सरसाइज का क्वेश्चन था. आज जो लर्निंग एक्सरसाइज मैंने दी है, आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग आंसर्स इन द कमेंट सेक्शन टुडे. दैट इज इट फॉर 10 January CA. आई होप द क्लास वाज यूजफुल फॉर यू and keep on revising and reading like this. Thank you so much. See you in the next session. Till then, have a great day.